Growing up, I was in a very atheist household. It was my mother, my brother, and I. They didn't go to church. They didn't follow any religion of any sort. When I was 19, I was coming out of a really awful relationship that had lasted the good majority of 3 years. It was really hard on me, mentally, emotionally, physically, just very dark and negative and toxic. I remember one day just being in the room alone, quiet and sad, and it felt like something was in the room with me, if you want to explain it that way. I just felt something caring for me. Then I asked the question, is this God? Is this, Jesus trying to get through to me? So I was left with a lot of questions.
I would say there were quite a few curious people there, either people that had grown up in a Christian background or had known people. I wondered what it would look like just to host an alpha for my friends and particularly my coworkers. I was definitely pretty nervous just because obviously it's really easy to make a name for yourself at your workplace because you're there all the time, whether it's oh, you could be the really fun one, or it's very easily you could be oh, that Christian that always asks people to go to church. And I didn't want her to think that our friendship was just so I could invite her to church.
So Ashlyn and I were working a shift together. We were walking past each other and she stopped me from where I was going and just said it very directly, casually, I want you to come to an alpha. What day is gonna work for you? What day is consistent for you? And I was immediately drawn and ready to participate in it.
There's not really a super easy way to do it. There's no, if you're ever waiting for the right time, there's times that are better than others, but there's not a time that it really this is the moment.
So I showed up at Alpha for the first time. It was very welcoming, very casual. Lots of people that I knew were there, all my age. So, you walk in, people were hugging, people were saying hello, people were catching up, there was food there. So it just felt like you were going to hang out with your friends. A lot of people had questions just like I did. They were either atheist, Christian, nothing. They just had the same questions as me. So I felt very comfortable knowing that I wasn't the only one who was exploring it.
Maybe halfway, maybe 3/4, we were just talking and it was discussion time. She's yeah, well, now that I'm Christian. And I was what? And I was kind of look at other people that I know, and I looked at them, they looked at me, and I was
things just started to make sense for me. Things started clicking. My past, there were certain connecting dots that I was oh, that makes so much sense. And then, yeah, I think I just told you one day.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge big bang or I saw the light or anything. It was just, I woke up, I'm this is who I am.
Yeah, I firmly believe obviously it wasn't me that brought you to Christ and gave you this life. It was I was just being faithful. It's God's call, and that looked like inviting you, and then he did the rest, and he obviously does so much for your life. And
I think you just kind of helped me see a little clearer, or help me
yeah,
move a little bit closer.
God pulled through.